The facts of the matter is that my own brothers, back doing like Lightyear Wireless and Solovay and all of that, that's when they hacked my phones with intent to take over my internet basically and my usage with my phones to be able to get access to all of my data to then continue to move on my life in a way of poisoning me. Their goal in this recent was to poison me to death through proxy, having every access and control of me, meaning that they that they had me believing that these people were actually my friends, my girlfriends, la da da, but they weren't. They were made by proxy to continue the blight of poisoning me acutely and covertly and within long-standing relationships, even being my friend of 28 years, Jesse motherfucking Lee, who's a complete psycho who needs investigations. But the fact of the matter is that when you realize how gang stalking works and how there's people and perpetrators paid to be paid provocateurs in your life, you realize that it's extending far into systems because of not only where these people work, but who these people are, what they've taken money to do. Say, for an example, Cheryl, working in the medical field, having access to a network of medical people, now working in proxy in that way to determine my life in the fashion of keeping me poisoned off, keeping the money coming in for herself, while lying about the value of love with me, meaning to snake away my life in the fashion of creating the blight with my friend all podunky walking right up to her, ignoring me. I could have just about busted him in the fucking face with every single right to, if you ask me. But you do these things when you're a target, that's when the police are going to come in and you're being curtailed. Not only in your freedom of speech, your freedom of movement, and they're taking away your life. You don't have access to your phone, internet, anything. So that's what they're trying to do now by hacking, making it a lucrative business that they're after, real lucrative, to be able to work in that way. And there are people like acting like they have Jesus on their side and things like that, when you know the fuck well they don't have Jesus on their side with the way that they've done people. And excuse my French, I've been poisoned up my whole life. I guess fuck was my favorite word while being poisoned off, because lo and behold, you're either looking for love, reaching out for love and support from the very people that are doing it to you, mind you, or you're just in a rage because you don't understand why they're so withdrawn and they're so hyped up value of love. So they can put on their kicks and pump up their kicks and act like they are the Jordans, but they're not. They're not trying to do anything for anybody in any given fashion, in any given time, but sit there and stalk you, to malign you, to harass you, to keep that blight moving inside of your life all of the time, where you don't have any recourse of action. Because when you don't have any recourse of action left and you're left without a support system that you think you had, and it's all a support system that's gamed by proxy, and within a proxy war against you, well, you don't have the availability of your own self to be able to determine what to do next. Not only by the poisons themselves, but without the poisons, it's the actual gang stalking and organized crime that they're doing in your life. And you're not even wanting to see it coming from family, coming from your friends. You don't want to see that. You want to see it that it's coming from external sources alone, not internal sources. So it's been one of the hardest things to come to terms with regarding this crime against me. And these people just continue to carry out the blight in my life in that fashion, to not only make me buy up things and when I'm in the relationships with them and I'm not feeling like anything's happening, it's to love bomb me, cage my brain in poisons, continuing the arsenic abuse inside of my body through the proxy relationships, love bombing me and such. But it's just the fact that I couldn't speak, and then they'd be like, it would be like my own girlfriend or many people being like, well, why can't you use your words? Well, do you not understand what arsenic does to a person? It takes their ability to mind things and run them through their brain camp appropriately so that they can't see to be able to speak. Or not only see to be able to speak, but to reason through the thoughts, to get them down on paper so that you can say them. But in order to get them out of your mouth correctly, you need to be able to write them, which is exactly why the psychotropics and the psychiatrist in that lockdown was telling me that I need to stop my writing, that you're never going to be a writer. You're not, like, basically, you aren't going to amount to shit, you aren't going to do shit, you aren't going to be shit, you aren't going to get anyone's help out here, no one fucking cares, blah, blah, blah. Take the pills, let your tongue swell up in the middle of sleep, and you die. If I took it one more day without reasoning through that it was that pill that made that happen, my tongue would have swollen up in my sleep and died. And it's the same thing that you'll find multiple cases against the makers of that pharmaceutical drug. And you do. You find millions of dollars paid in settlements. And that's just with the people's families that have been able to take it to court. Not mentioning all of the other people who were determined in their life, didn't have anyone in their life to even think of going after these people and suing these people. So it's a bunch of people that are being silenced in that way, where they don't have any recourse of action, being targeted and misaligned inside of their life in that kind of way. But anyway, the proxy relationships caged my brain. They dug out the trenches basically for me to be rolled off into an early grave. And then their pumped up love, like I talk about these pumped up kicks, like they're Air Jordans or something that are going to help them jump higher and go further in life. But it's me talking about love. It's me talking about true and honorable support and love, because true, honorable, and support and love isn't going to be all of a sudden, oh, we got to withdraw from loving. Because where in the Bible do you see Jesus going, let's withdraw from these people that are hurting so bad? Nowhere. Anyway, I'm out of here. Peace.